It's not the first time you
Yes.
solve for x. If you look at example number, for example, if you take the above examples that we've already done, on example number, the activities that we have done, all these activities that we have done, like, okay, let's take this one. It was example number 3. On example number 3, we did solve for x, but after solving for x, we didn't represent this thing graphical. There was no need for us to represent it graphical. Now, I just showed you to say, well, this information can be represented graphical. I want you to know when do you represent it graphical. You're going to represent it graphically if you see that they didn't put an equal sign, but they put something like this.
Inequality.
Yeah, once you see them putting an inequality, it's a must. Because we need to know how are we going to approach it with examination. So once you see an inequality, then it's a must for us to put it in a graphical representation. But the rest, you don't have to put them in a graphical representation. And then unless they say put it in a graphical representation, which is rare. So what is it that we're going to do? We're going to solve this thing exactly the way we're solving the above. The first thing that we're going to do, we're going to change the inequality into an equal sign. And then we're going to call that critical values. That's the first thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to write this thing, excluding the inequality, exactly the way it is. I'm just going to put an equal sign so that you can solve it exactly the way you are solving the above. Everyone. So what is it that you're going to have here? You're going to have x plus 2. And then you're going to have 2 minus 3x, which is going to be equaling to what? To 0. Now, if you're solving something like this, remember, how did you do it? I said, if you see my brackets, I just told Pride now to say, if you see my brackets, the first thing that you should check if the 0 factor law does it apply. Yeah? You don't have to multiply this thing. You first have to check if the 0 factor law applies. If it doesn't apply, then you will multiply it. But if it applies, you then say, apply the 0 factor law. Let's check here. Can we apply the 0 factor law here? What do you think?
Yes.
We can.
Yes, we can apply. Yes.
Yeah. So if we apply the 0 factor law here, we're going to have x plus 2 is equaling to 0, or 2 minus 3x is going to be equaling to what? To 0. Take this one to this other side. It says which x is going to be equaling to what? Minus 2.
Negative 2.
Take this one to this other side. It says which 2 is going to be equaling to 3x. You divide by 3. You divide by 3. It says x is going to be 2 all over what? All over 3. Now remember, here's what I just said, Zindle. I said to you, because there's an inequality, it becomes compulsory for you to go and draw this thing the way I did on the above example that we're doing. So I'm going to say to them, I have 2 values here. What is the first one? The first one is the smallest one, which is minus 2. Yeah? The second one is going to be this one here, which is the biggest, which is going to be 2 all over what? All over 3. We're still fine there. And then after that, I am going to check the value of a so that I will know which am I drawing a smiley face or I'm drawing a sad face. How do you get the value of a? You're going to multiply the things that have x. You say this one has x, you can highlight them. This one has x, and then this one also has x. So you're going to say x multiplied by minus 3. What am I going to get if I say x multiplied by minus 3?
Minus 3x squared.
So I'm going to get minus 3x squared. Okay, it means my a, in other words, it's minus 3, which is negative. So instead of having a smiley face, I'm going to have what?
A sad face.
So I'm going to have something that looks like this, which is sad. And then for now, I want us to stop here for now and then try this one of number 2. We'll come back and continue with the answer. We are not done here. This is not the answer, by the way. We just have to know what these are the steps of solving inequality. Inequality first, you solve it exactly like an equation. After that, you represent it graphically. After you are done representing it graphically, we'll come back and talk about the solution. But for now, let's keep the solution for now. We'll come back to the solution. So if we go to number 2, let's get someone assisting me to do number 2. Based on what we just learned, manje. What did I say we're doing? Anyone? Critical values there. And then how do you get your critical values? You change the inequality into an equal sign. So you're going to have x squared
S into an equal
minus
Yes.
8x plus 16, which is going to be equal to what?
Plus
To 0.
Then
Okay, let me choose someone then who can
0
assist us.
factorial does not apply.
Eh? Pride.
Sorry?
Let's continue from here then. We want to solve this thing exactly the way we are solving. We change the inequality into an equal sign. And then now we want to solve it exactly the way we are solving it. What should I do from here?
Sam, I think we should use the quadratic formula. Like we have to identify A, B, C first.
Okay, it's in a standard form, so we're going to check our A. Our A is 1. Our B is minus 8. Our C is 16. And then we're going to say we have X, which is going to be minus, open bracket, minus 8. Plus and a minus. We're going to have minus 8, minus 4, multiplied by 1, multiplied by 16. All over 2 multiplied by 1. Type this in your calculator. You should get something like this. It says which X. If we start with the positive one, let's start with the positive one. If we go with the positive one, it says which we are going to have minus, open bracket, minus 8, close bracket, plus root minus 8 all squared 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 16. All over 2 multiplied by 1 close bracket equals 2. Ne? So we get 4. Ne? It says which X is going to be equal to 4. And then we can try the other one. If you put a minus here, it says which we are going to have. Let's check.
Oh.
We still get 4. Ne? Minus, we still get 4. So it means which x1 and x2, they're exactly identical. Can you see that? Ne? So if we're going to represent this thing here on the number line, we don't have two values of x. Unlike before, the one above, we had x1, which is different from x2. Here we're simply going to put 4. And then we're going to tell them which A is positive. If A is positive, our graph is not going to cut, but it's going to turn here on 4. And then it's going to go up like this. Then this is how our graph is going to look like.